All right, I have a review of Sauvage Parfum coming right up. Hey Fragrance family, I'm Dave and I'm a fragrance bro, of course your best source for everything fragrance related. Today I have a review of this right here, Sauvage Parfum. Now Sauvage is a really interesting fragrance. It's interesting in that it gets a lot of love, it gets a lot of hate, it gets a lot of maybe indifference, but one thing that it definitely gets a lot of is talk. And whether you love or hate it, you can't deny that Sauvage has become something of a phenomenon recently. Now fragrances go in and out of fashion over time, and each one kind of takes as the pole position every year. Sauvage recently has been the leader for fragrances for a couple of years now, a few years, ever since it was released. Of course, they started with the Eau de Toilette, then they made the Eau de Parfum, and then they made the Parfum version. So today I want to talk about the Parfum version. Now, I have a full review of the Eau de Toilette if you want to go up here and watch that. I also have kind of a comparison and review of the Eau de Parfum version as well as the Eau de Toilette version, and I'll have that linked up here if you want to go watch that. And stay tuned for more because I have a full comparison of all three of these coming soon. Flankers are just kind of ubiquitous now, and so no one is really surprised when they come out with a flanker that no one asks for. The Parfum version, though, I think is very interesting because it does something that wasn't done with the Eau de Parfum version, and I think it kind of carries the Eau de Toilette into more of a stronger version, which the Eau de Parfum kind of didn't do, I don't think. Now, Dior kindly sent this to me for a review, and I actually do have a lot of kind things to say about this one, but of course, I'm not saying that because they sent it to me for a review. You know, I keep it 100% honest on this channel. Now, they list a lot more notes on this than they did the original Eau de Toilette. The original Eau de Toilette, they only listed 2 notes, which is bergamot and ambroxan, and this one they list mandarin, bergamot, sandalwood, vanilla, tonka, and cedar. And then there are a couple of additional notes that Fragrantica has. They also add frankincense and elemi. And I'm not exactly sure if that's because of maybe a press release that they got from Dior, or if they just add notes based on their experience. I'm not totally sure. Fragrantica normally is really good about notes, but sometimes they add notes that aren't necessarily on the website of the official fragrance. And that's the case with this one. To me, there's not much to say about this other than it's a very strong version of the Eau de Toilette Sauvage. I like the original Sauvage, the Eau de Toilette. I find that the best part of that is the opening with the bergamot. That beautiful, soft, citrusy, almost floral bergamot is gorgeous, and it really matches well to the musky dry down, which I think is a really just powerful type of smell. And it's obviously done very well for them, so I think it really resonated with a lot of people. Now, maybe you don't like Sauvage, and I totally get it. It's not a groundbreaking fragrance by any means. It's a very simple fragrance. And the Parfum version, I think, is a little bit more complex than the Eau de Toilette, but not much more complex. I think the changes in this are very subtle, but because of the subtle changes, it actually is a more powerful type of fragrance, and that is what I really appreciate here. The Eau de Toilette didn't last a whole long time on me, in the average range. This one is excellent. Both projection and longevity on me are in the excellent range, a lot stronger. 1 or 2 sprays is really all I need on this to have a nice scent cloud on me and last a long time, 10 hours easily on my skin. I do get some of the other notes in here, like I do get a little bit of mandarin, I do get some of the other things like maybe a tiny bit of vanilla, maybe a tiny bit of the frankincense, even though I'm not sure if that's an official note or not. And the sandalwood and the cedar, there might be in there as well. All of those notes to me are kind of those notes where you kind of have to hunt for them. They're not really obvious. The obvious ones still are bergamot and ambroxan, that kind of musky type of smell, and maybe kind of that almost lavender type of vibe that you get from it. And I would say that if you compare these back to back, one on each hand, what I mostly get from this is a more musky presence in this. And I don't know if they maybe upped the ambergris or ambroxan that you get from the original Eau de Toilette. That could be possible. It could just be that all the other things together, the frankincense, the sandalwood, vanilla, kind of just add kind of almost a semi-musky type of accord that kind of carries the ambroxan. That could be it too. I'm not exactly sure, but it does smell more musky, and I like that. I think that's fine too. I still get that bright citrus, maybe not as much as the original, but it's still really nice. This is a much more nuanced version of the original Sauvage, and so I really like that. And it is stronger, so I really like that too. So for me, this to me is really my favorite version of Sauvage so far. Now, I do not doubt that they will make a Sauvage of the night or Sauvage Sport or something like that. I do not doubt that they will do that in the future. If they do, of course, I will review that as well. But so far, I think Sauvage Parfum is the real winner here. Now, like the original one, I think this is great for casual. I think this is great for work. You kind of have to tone it down a little bit for work. I do think this is really good for a date, especially like first, second date type of thing. I think that's great for those type of dates. Season still is spring and summer. Even though it's stronger, I don't think this would be good for cooler months, really. Even with the kind of winter type of notes like sandalwood and vanilla and things like that, I don't think it really adds any difference in the application or season or anything else. No, it doesn't reinvent the wheel, and no, it's not really going to stand out, especially if everyone else is wearing Sauvage. But what it does really well. And if you like Sauvage, but you want something maybe a little bit stronger, I definitely recommend this. This is a great option to choose for Sauvage. Price is $120, and I still think that's a very good deal for what you get, especially something that's going to last a long time. Very likable, very versatile. I think that's a really good deal. With that, I'd like to thank my sponsor, Fragrance X. Fragrance X is an online retailer that sells thousands of legitimate fragrances for a discounted price. If you're considering buying a fragrance, definitely check out Fragrance X. I'll have a link down below to them as well as a coupon. So those are all my thoughts for Sauvage Parfum. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the way out. I love you for it. I'll see you next time. I'm Dave at the Fragrance Bros. Bye.